All right, thanks, guys. Happy Saturday to you. The Spurs take on the Jazz. That's going to be a 5 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Utah. The Jazz open the betting as the 5-point favorite, and the total at 221.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing steady money on Utah in the early going here. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Utah is 6.5 with a total moving downward to 221. So once again, Utah minus 6.5, totals 221. 52% of the consensus is leaning towards San Antonio. 61% is shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Spurs are plus 220 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Spurs in this spot here, it's certainly going to be tough sledding for you. They failed to cover in their last 6 straight. They also have Rudy Gay questionable with an ankle and Derek White out with a foot. Now, Utah is 11-3 straight up in their last 14, 10-2 straight up in their last dozen at home. This Jazz team is ranking 4th in points allowed. They're also ranking 2nd in defensive rebounding. And when it comes to the total, Utah is 4-1 to the over in their last 5. San Antonio 8-1 to the over in their last 9. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Utah minus 6 and the over 221 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for NBA and college basketball for Saturday, February 9th. But before we go, I think it's the 9th. It's the 9th, yes. February 9th. Anyway, that was my producer in the background. The producer doing her hair. But anyway, before I go ahead and proceed, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And we're having an incredible run in the NBA. We're looking at about 80% in my last couple of weeks worth of NBA picks and plays. So go ahead and hop on the Patreon right now because my current record is available for you, and that's a part of the free content. So once again, with a certain success as I'm having in the NBA, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that website. Memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Cavaliers at the Pacers. That's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off in Indiana. The Pacers are minus 14.5. Totals at 208 and a hook. Cleveland's plus 975 on the money line. Indiana 5-1 straight up in their last 6 at home, 4-2 against the number in that same category. The Pacers rank 1st in points allowed, 1st in home field goal percentage, and 3rd in defensive rebounding. Cleveland on the other side is just 3-21 straight up in their last 24. They failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 on the road. Now, total-wise, Cleveland is 2-1 to the over in their last trio of games taking on Indiana. Give me the Pacers minus 14 after buying the half a point, and the over 208 in that matchup there. Next game I have for you, Hornets at the Hawks, 7:30 tip-off in Atlanta. The Hornets are laying 2.5, total open 230, down to 229.5. 64% are leaning Charlotte, 51% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Hawks are plus 120 on the money line. Now, if you like Atlanta in this spot here, it's going to be a tough spot for you. They've covered just 7 out of their last 22 at home. 7-15 against the spread in their last 22 at home. And as the home underdog, they're covering just 36% of their games in that category as well. The Hawks ranked 30th in points allowed, 27th in defensive field goal percentage, and 28th in home three-point shooting. Now, Charlotte, on the other side, they rank 8th in free throw percentage from the stripe. They are 6-1 straight up in their last 7, taking on the Hawks if you're into historical trends. And when it comes to the total, Charlotte is 5-2 to the under in their last 7. Atlanta 2-1 to the under in their last 3, taking on Charlotte. Give me the Hornets -2 after buying the half a point, and the under 229.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Raptors, Knicks, 7:30 tip-off at Madison Square Garden in New York. Toronto opened 10, up to minus 10.5. Totals 219 and a hook. New York's plus 410 on the money line. Toronto 6-3 against the number in their last 9. They also rank 3rd in road defensive rebounding in the association. The Knicks on the other side, well, they failed to cover in 7 out of their last 8. And when they're home, they're covering just 32% of their ball games. Now, scoring-wise, Toronto 6-3 to the over in their games at the current posted total. The Knicks are giving up 115 points per contest. Give me Toronto minus 10 after buying the hook, and the over 219.5 in that matchup there. Next game, it is going to be Clippers at the Celtics, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Beantown. Boston opened the betting as the 11.5 point favorite, total at 225 and a hook. And since those markets open this one up, we're seeing movement upward on the spread. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. Boston's now minus 12 with the total moving up to 226 even. So once again, the Celtics open 11.5 up to minus 12. Total open 225.5 up to 226. 62% are leaning Boston, 61% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Los Angeles is plus 660 on the money line. Now, Boston does have Baines out for tonight's action. Theis is also questionable with a knee injury, and Boston failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 ball games. They ranked 21st in defensive rebounding. Meanwhile, when it comes to the total, the Clippers are 7-3 to the under in their last 10, and when the Clippers are on the road, they're 63% to the under for the year. Now, Boston, they're allowing just 105 points per contest at the Garden. So I don't think we'll see a whole lot of scoring in this one. All that in mind, though, I'm going to lean toward the road dog. Give me the Clippers plus 12 in the under 226 in that matchup there. Next game, Pelicans, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock tip-off in Memphis. The Grizz are minus 1.5, totals 211. 59% are leaning New Orleans, 68% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Pels are plus 105 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Pelicans on the road, just keep in mind, they've been pretty good against the number in their last handful of games. 6-2 against the number in their last 8. A perfect 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 when traveling. Memphis on their side of things, well, they have Parsons and Anderson both out for tonight's action. We also have Bradley, Valanciunas, and Wright questionable for tonight's game as well. Memphis is just 4-10 against the number in their last 14 at home. They rank dead last in scoring in the association. Now, total-wise, New Orleans is 6-3 to the over in their second of a back-to-back. Give me the Pelicans plus 2 after buying the half a point and the over 211 in that matchup there. Next game, Wizards, Bulls, 8 o'clock tip-off in Chicago. The Wizards are laying 1 point. Washington minus 1, totals 217.5. Chicago minus 105 on the money line. The Bulls are just 5-11 against the number in their last 16. 0-5 ATS in their last 5 on their home court. Chicago ranks 28th in scoring, 28th in home defensive rebounding, and in their games at the current in their games at the current point spread, they're covering just 33% of those matchups. Now, Washington, they're 7-2 against the number in their second of a back-to-back. And when it comes to the scoring, in games where the total is more than 205, Washington is 60% to the over. Now, Chicago's 63% to the over in that same category. Give me the Wizards minus 1 and the over 217.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Thunder, Rockets, 8:30 tip-off in Houston. The Rockets are minus 1.5, totals 235 and a hook. 59% are leaning Houston, 63% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, OKC is plus 110 on the money line. Now, OKC ranks 20th in defensive rebounding. They also rank 27th from the stripe. Houston ranks 6th in home scoring, 2nd in defending the 3-ball. The Rockets are also 32-22 straight up overall for the year, 19-8 straight up at home, and 16-11 against the spread in their games on their home court. Now, total-wise, Houston's 5-2 to the under in their last 7, taking on OKC if you're into historical trends. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Houston minus 1 and the under 235.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for our NBA slate. It is going to be Magic at the Bucks, 9 o'clock tip-off in Milwaukee. The Bucks are minus 11.5, totals 219 and a hook. Orlando's plus 510 on the money line. Orlando has lost 8 out of their last 12 straight up. They're also just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 when traveling. Orlando ranks 27th in scoring, 26th in road defensive rebounding, and they've dropped 8 out of their last 9 on the road. Now, Milwaukee is a perfect 6-0 straight up. That is incorrect. Milwaukee is a perfect 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 ball games. They rank first in the association in home scoring. Now, total-wise, Milwaukee's 4-2 to the over in their last 6. Orlando 9-4 to the over in their last 13. Give me the Bucks minus 11 after buying the hook in the over. 219.5. Milwaukee minus 11 in the over. 219.5 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball. Now, we have a really nice slate of college basketball games, a lot of ranked opponents and good teams playing each other. So we're going to go ahead and break down 8 college basketball games for this Saturday's action. Let's begin with Virginia Tech at Clemson, 12 o'clock tip-off at Clemson. The Tigers open 1.5. They're now minus 3. Total open 130 down to 129. Once again, the Tigers are minus 3. Total's 129. 55% are leaning Virginia Tech. 51% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Hokies are plus 130 for some money line cash. Now, Virginia Tech ranks 8th in field goal percentage, 2nd in three-point percentage, and 6th in points allowed in the country. They also rank 7th in defensive rebounding in college basketball. Now, Clemson, on their side of things, they're when taking on teams over 650, they're covering just 25% of those games. So once again, the Tigers, when taking on teams over a win percentage of 650, they're covering just 25%.